Okay, recording in progress. Here we go. Okay, did you have something you wanted to say, Laura?
I have a question. This is a question and answer thing, so I have a question. I'm working on the newsletter for April, May, June, right? The calendar for April, May, June. In June, would you all be okay with a Friday night, a Friday evening? It's one of the ways to avoid the heat. And we've had some folks that haven't been able to do things on Saturday mornings. Would a Friday night, would that interfere with your social calendars too terribly to do a Friday evening in June?
You got one thumbs up.
We're good with it.
We're good.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Oh, there's Valerie. Valerie has Thanos. Okay.
We've got a lot of we got anniversaries and birthdays in June, so it kind of depends on which Friday.
Okay, I think it's the 10th.
Yeah, I'd be a maybe.
Okay.
So
Well, the idea is, so we can never get everybody there.
Right.
But we haven't mixed it up in a while. So if a Friday night would work for some of you, for most of us, then we'll try that. That will help us avoid some heat and open up some other possibilities. I'm trying to see if we can get a fire station that we could go into in the evening where the lights and the sirens and stuff would actually be lights and such. So we haven't done a fire station in a while. Okay, thank you. That was my question.
Okay, my question is, I guess I should start with the other things. Just typical things that we start with any meeting is just remember to have your dog looking good when you go out. I don't want to say groom because then everybody thinks they got to take them to the groomer. No, just that they look good, that they've been, that they're not smelly and they haven't been in a mud puddle recently. Just to be sure that they are representing New Horizons well. And that would just making sure, they don't have any things hanging off the back of their tails or anything that somebody would look at and go, ooh, that dog is dirty, or that dog hasn't been cleaned in a while, or ooh, that dog hasn't been brushed. And every time I've seen any of you guys at training, they all look beautiful. Thank you to all of you that came to the training at the Obedience Club of Daytona. It was awesome just to see everybody come out. We have another training there in July. The Obedience Club of Daytona loves having us. And so it's very nice for them to lend their facility to us, and they do it for free. Also, if you missed that class, there are training classes that they give. I know not all of you live near there, but I can tell you it is definitely worth a trip once a week. You call there, you tell them that you are a New Horizons dog, you're raising a dog for New Horizons, and they will put you in a free class. Totally worth it. They've got some great trainers there and worth the trip. So
make a note on your calendar that July training will be an afternoon on a Saturday, not a morning.
Not a morning. Yep. So my question is, I have Micah. He's not quite 2 years old. And he has just started. I don't even know. The only way I can describe it for Laura, you'll know exactly, is he's Denozo. He is doing what Denozo did. Here, let's show everybody. Oh, he left. Oh, you little stinker. He takes a towel. And he puts it. Want it? Do you want? He puts it in his mouth. He grabs a hold of it. See, just like that. And he will let it go though. If I tell him to give, he will. But it doesn't happen any other time, but like in the evening. It's almost like a security thing. And he just started it about a week ago. And I don't want him to get in the habit of it because it can be a terrible habit, Laura, as we well know, that a dog can begin. So see, like now it's out of his mouth. See, show everybody. Yep, good boy. Yes. But it's a new thing.
Maybe he should have his own blanket.
Well, we kind of have given him this towel. This is his towel. So he was grabbing our little carpets that we have as you enter the trailer. He was grabbing those, and we also have a dog blanket that lays on the couch. So when Quinn gets up here, she doesn't, or he gets up here, it doesn't puncture the leather. And so now he only grabs the towel. He will let it go though. I mean, if I say give, he'll reluctantly, but he will give it. And I'm wondering, and it does, like I said, it doesn't happen any other time of the day except like in the evening. Like, so I'm trying to figure out how to break him of it without breaking his spirit.
Well, didn't you start traveling about a week ago again?
Well, yeah. And I'm wondering if it's like today we spent almost the whole day outside because I was trying to see if it was that if it's because he hasn't had a lot of activity. So we went to a big park the other day where he got to run. And then today we spent outside all day. He was just playing ball. And I thought, oh, well, that he won't do it tonight. And we're not in the trailer 5 minutes and he's got that towel in his mouth. So.
It might be a weird way of him wanting like physical attention. I don't know why, but Zamboni will go into the laundry room and get dirty clothes and bring them to me. And that's like her thing. But I realize now she just wants me to pet her. So every time I give her attention and I'm like, good girl. And then I start petting her and I keep doing it. She's good. But then as soon as I stop, she goes and she gets it and she brings it again. So maybe he wants attention.
I'm telling you, this dog gets a lot. I wondered that too, but he literally is a Velcro dog. And I'm talking, he leans into you and will not, anybody he meets. He met a little boy at a campground we were at just recently. And there were 3 other kids and he took to this little boy and just right up against him. And I said to the little boy, I think he likes you. And the little boy moved to see if he would move. And Micah moved right with him.
Aww.
So he's getting a lot. I mean, he's getting constant love and attention. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. It's we had Denozo who used to do that, but Denozo didn't let stuff go. He would hold it onto it and not let it go, even when you said very nicely give. And so I don't know. Margot's asking, do they use towels in prison? See, the thing is he didn't do it. They do have toys, yes. He didn't do it like I've had him 3 weeks. And he just started doing it. It's the weirdest thing. So I got to try to figure it out. I don't know. I'm not quite sure, but isn't that, it's kind of interesting only because besides Denozo, I've never had another dog do this. And he is letting it go. So I guess I can be happy with that. Yeah. And once we get to where we're going, we'll be outside a lot and he'll be hiking a lot and doing a lot of that. So maybe he'll get rid of some of that energy he's got. I wondered if it was just pent up energy. I don't know, Jessica, I've had a couple of dogs that would bring me dirty laundry, dirty socks, dirty shirts, everything from the laundry and just sit by me with it. And I'd be like, thank you. You want me to pet you now?
Yeah, I mean, it's adorable, but then it started becoming shoes. It's anything in my closet now. She'll just grab it. But I think it might be pent up energy or attention. I don't know. It is good that he's letting it go though. And she does too, but yeah, it's very interesting. She's a Velcro dog as well. Like she will nudge her nose into your hand. Yep. So you pet her.
Yep. That's Micah.
Yeah.
That's Micah, huh,
Oh.
Boogie?
Yep. Very sweet.
Okay, so Laura, so it looks like Eileen is there, but she's not there.
Right, so she can't do her thing.
Right. And we only have one breeder dog on, right? Just Chuck.
Yeah, we'll try, I think we'll try the breakout either at the next Zoom or the next Q&A.
Okay.
And we'll try to hit up our breeder folks to show up for that,
Yeah.
for
Yep.
that next one.
So if Eileen, if you can hear us, that'll give you time to get to know your computer.
And if you have trouble, you can contact my husband who can walk you through it.
There you go. Yeah, well, at least she got in, but yeah.
Yay.
Okay, so questions, concerns, I'll keep working on the towel
Somebody
in the
go
mouth.
ahead and sign off.
Was that her?
It was.
Curtis, what about visiting
No.
zoos and aquariums? You want
That'd
to
be
do
a
that?
good cool weather thing, hot weather thing.
Has anybody done it? Has anybody had issues?
I've done a drive-through zoo with the
Cool.
dogs. It's over south of Kissimmee. It was a really great experience.
We're thinking like the Sanford Zoo here, or we were just up in Atlanta, the Atlanta Aquarium. And
I've done the sea at Epcot, and I've had dogs that would still be there if I would have left them. The whole aquarium thing was like dog TV.
Yeah, and the dolphins love the dogs. They're so cute. So definitely, if you get a chance to do it, aquarium would be awesome as well.
Yeah, and I would think, Curtis, that you have the perfect dog to do that with.
yeah, I was just seeing some discussion with other group service dogs having issues with those. So I was just wondering.
Oh, like having issues getting in?
Yeah, exactly. Something about whatever the association the zoos belong to and what their rules are, and something about with the animals and
Huh, I hadn't heard that. I know people go to SeaWorld and take their dogs. I've never heard that as a problem at the zoo. Here, look, that's yours. Okay.
No, me either. Let me.
But that's a good. Has anybody else been zoos and aquariums?
We do SeaWorld a lot with the dogs, and yes, the dolphins and even the sea turtles love them. We've never had an issue at SeaWorld, with the exception each time different people will greet you when you go in. And the last time the guy was very demanding on what service does he provide. And I kept saying, well, he is in training and he will provide one of these services. Well, what service is he providing today? Would not let us through until I said, okay, he'll provide, I don't even know what we said. Mobility issues. That's what I said.
Mobility and stability. Yeah, that's always a good one.
Oh my
But yeah,
gosh.
so other than that, SeaWorld is great. It's one of the best training things to do that we feel with the dogs.
Oh, nice.
Kelly, we must have had the same guy, because I've been like a handful of times within the last month, and he does the same thing to us. And every time I say mobility, and he looks me up and down, but I'm like, whatever. And we do
Yeah.
well.
Must have been the same guy, because we've gone several times too, and only that one guy just kept saying, what service is he providing? What service? And I kept saying, well, he's training. So yeah, but the rest of them have been great.
Yeah, well,
So
because that's the
so next
question they
time,
can ask.
Limp off. Just limp away and
All right.
That's funny.
Well, actually, as long as I'm not muted, I do have a question. Speaking of limping, has anybody else had a dog that's absolutely ripped their toenail off? We're taking Malachite tomorrow to the vet. He is so aggressive when he plays ball. he slides and I don't know, but he ran for a ball and then came back kind of limping and blood everywhere. And I remember on one of these, somebody saying to make a paste with cornstarch. And we did that and the bleeding stopped. And so I thought, okay. And he wouldn't let us get real close to it. So I thought maybe he had just, I don't know, messed it up a little bit. And then he seemed to be doing better after a day. This happened on Saturday, I think. And then yesterday he was limping again. And we finally made him let us look at it. And it looks like the entire nail is off. And it's not like he hasn't been, like, I've done his nails. Like, I really should have done them Saturday, but after that, I'm afraid to touch him.
Right. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Has
it's
that
his-
happened? I mean, is that?
It's his nail, not his dew claw.
Yes,
Right,
correct.
right. It's, yeah, back foot.
Okay. Okay. No, wow. Yeah. Micah is too. Micah's pretty intense when he plays ball.
And he still wants to play. That's the bad thing.
Yes.
He keeps bringing us a ball and but yet he limps. It's terrible. I've never seen anything like it, but, oh yeah, the split thing. See, I don't think, I'm looking at what Margot just wrote. I don't think his is even split. I mean, it just looks red and raw, and I don't really know how dogs' nails work, but it reminds me of like if we ripped our nail off and you just saw the nail bed.
Yeah.
Wow. So I wonder what they'll do for him.
I don't know, but they did say we do need to bring him in because of the nerves and to make sure he doesn't get it infected. But as far as the split nail, because I've been online reading for Margot, they did say that that you do need to cut it down, because if it keeps snagging, it can become more exposed, and they have a ton of nerves on their nails or under their nails, whatever, and that it can lead to infection.
Connected.
And
So I
oh
don't
my
know whether
goodness.
it would be file it down or super glue, but you got to do something.
Yeah.
Super glue is not a bad idea.
All right. So Malachite's back foot,
Back right.
Back right foot, yes.
back right. Okay. Toenail. Like
Yes, toenail.
one toenail?
Yes, just
Yeah.
one.
Okay. And it was like ripped right off.
That's what we're assuming. I mean, he wouldn't let us get near it for a couple of days, like I said. And then looking at it yesterday, like, I don't really know dog anatomy and of their feet, but that's what it looks like. It looks like it was just ripped off somehow.
Okay. All right.
And
Like
in
covered.
response to Curtis's question about service animals at the zoo, I did go on the Central Florida site and found their service animal information. And it's basically, they want you to be aware that some of the animals at the zoo the dog may fire up a predatory instinct in those animals. And if you see something trying to stalk the dog, you might want to step away from that enclosure, because if they rush the fence, it could damage the animal that's on display. It's a really good little, everybody should take a minute and go to that link and check it out. It describes that they'll want to talk to you as you come in to make sure you know what to be aware of. Not that you can't bring them, but there are some special concerns.
Okay.
You want, can I share my screen?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay.
I think so.
Well, let me see if I can pull
let
that
me
back
see.
up and,
Wait a minute. There. Now you should be able to.
okay, hold on. Got to get to it so that when I share it, you can actually see it.
Of overtime, like any volunteers, and I'm like,
Okay, can you see it?
Yep.
Service animals are welcome at the zoo. Personal pets are not permitted. Because service animals can pose certain concerns and challenges within a zoo setting, it's important that we advise you of our policy regarding these animals and ask for your cooperation. You're asked to check in at the admission window so that a staff can provide you with an accessibility map. They must be on a non-retractable leash of no more than 6 feet, a tether or harness, unless that interferes with their working, which for any of our service dogs in training would not be the case. And here's the part I was talking about. Due to the natural predator-prey instinct, some zoo animals may react quickly or violently to the presence of a service animal, which can cause injury to the zoo animal or even death. We ask, if you notice a zoo animal becoming distressed or overly aggressive, please leave immediately. That seems reasonable.
Yep. Yep, sure does.
And if you'd like to go through one of the areas that's restricted, they'll put a zoo person with the service animal while you're escorted through. So,
Okay.
that's what I know about that.
Well, that seems pretty reasonable to me. I wonder, I would assume that maybe other zoos have that same policy.
Yeah. And because they are wild animals, you can understand the concern for the safety of their animals as well as the safety of their guests. And so there you go. Thank you, Curtis.
Yes.
Good question. We all
Great
learned
question.
something.
Yep. Well, and I guess that would go for any other place that has animals, just that general rule of, you know, being aware that there are other animals there and watching how your dog is responding, not, you know, just not being oblivious, which I don't think any of us would be. But just being aware. And if you see something that doesn't seem right, then leave the area. Exit as quickly as possible. Okay, other questions, concerns, things that have happened that have been great? Exposures that you'd like to share?
Nebula survived her very first airplane flight. Yay!
Yay.
And
Cool.
while you're talking about cool things to do in the summertime with your dogs, I still recommend an art museum. We went to Crystal Bridges, which is a museum of art in Northwest Arkansas. And it's fascinating to see what the dogs respond to and what they're oblivious of. Sculptures that they go, whoa, what is that? And other, it's just an interesting thing and it's cool. And yes, they will probably have a security, one of their security folks to talk with you about if the dog barks or it has a problem, that they'll ask you to leave and you go, yes, thank you. And they let the other security people know that there's in the building. And then you just walk and look at the stuff and it's cool and very pleasant. Laura joined us, yay. Edda's here, yay. Questions?
I'll ask a question. Just because Thanos is my first golden. So he came with two like healing hot spots. I mean, I'm thinking that's what they were. How long do they take to like fully go away?
A long time.
Okay.
A long time,
I
unfortunately.
keep checking. I'm like, oh my God, still there.
It's forever. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes up to a month.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, they were already like kind of, I know this is gross, but they were already like crusted over. There weren't like, so obviously already in the healing process when he came, and I looking at them. I mean, thankfully they're not like noticeable unless you like dig through the fur. Okay, I'll just continue to wait.
Were they in the healing process when you got him, or did you know they were hot spots?
Well, I assumed that they were healing hotspots because they were already, like I said, like crusted over,
Okay.
and like I didn't have to put anything on them. They didn't look irritated. He doesn't seem bothered by them.
Good. Okay. Awesome. How did he respond to his bath? Has it helped?
I mean, he didn't love it, and I don't know that it's helped very much, unfortunately. He's still
Wow.
chewing his paws a lot, so I haven't gotten the paw balm yet to see if that helps.
That's what it's something he must have developed as he's gotten older.
Yeah. That's
Hmm.
possible, but he doesn't seem bothered. He's happy. He just chews his paws.
Right.
And they look okay. Like I'm checking them to make sure they're not like inflamed and, like infected or anything. They look fine. He just,
Is he willing to chew on other things like, like bones and that kind of thing?
oh yeah, he's chewing on a bone right now.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, that's better than his paws, right?
Yep. It's usually after we come back in from being outside. So I think it's an environmental allergy.
Okay.
So
All right. And is he still continuing to be a good boy?
he's a good boy. There he is. He got up, he heard you, and he was like, I think that's my mom's.
Hi, Thanos. Hi, Bubby.
He's a loud breather.
Oh, he's a panter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he do that at a lot of
I'm
Goldens
looking at him
are?
right now, trying to be all like, I'm not really on the couch. Good, thank you.
So does he pant at night too?
No,
Okay.
just when he's like moving around. Dude,
Okay.
he is
Just
so,
when he's breathing.
he's like, I'm just in your lap. I'm not really on the couch. I know, you're a good boy. He's very sweet though, very sweet.
Are him and Dio friends now?
Oh yeah, they're 100% friends.
Good.
But it's interesting. They don't go after the same ball in the yard. They each wait for their own ball to be thrown.
Oh,
They'll like bring one back, and they know exactly whose I'm throwing, and they don't go after it. It's really funny.
that is funny. Okay. What else?
Melina, hot spots are a bacterial infection. It can be a scratch, it can be a bug bite, anything that can break the skin can let bacteria that's normal on the skin get into the underneath. And some dogs are really prone to them and others never get them. Sometimes it happens when a dog doesn't get completely dry and you've got a nice warm, moist, dark place
Under their
that's
armpits.
yeah, where there might be an irritation. They might have had a burr, had a something that broke the skin, and then the bacteria begins to grow. If you catch it early, topically, drying it up, using the medicated Gold Bond kind of powders, sometimes they'll go away. And then another time it will become almost looking like an abscess, a boil looking, raised, hot, hurty, nasty spot. If that happens, you need to let the office know and you need to get into the vet because they're going to need antibiotics.
Yep. And usually the antibiotics, boom, it in a couple days, it's already starting to dry up. But there's a happy place in there where if you catch it, you're good. And if you don't, forget it.
Yeah.
It explodes. Yeah, but it usually, and Laura's right, a lot of times it happens if they're not completely towel dried. Under their armpits, under their legs,
be sure
behind their ears.
Off. Yeah.
Yep. So. Good question about hotspots because lots of Goldens get them.
And we're kind of coming into that season.
Yes. Eileen said she lost power, so I'm just letting her know it's all good that we're going to use her during the next one.
Yep.
I don't want her to stress out about it.
Nope, 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 nope.
Gotcha. Okay. Other questions, comments?
Well, Rummy seems to be a heavy panter too, and most of that night. But recently we noticed, probably maybe 4 or 5 times when he's breathing, he almost sounds like he's wheezing, like he's an ex-smoker. And nobody around him smokes. But so we're trying to figure out whether it be coming through him. Is that going to be an issue, or should there's something we should do about it?
Have you taken him to the vet at all?
Well, we've taken him to the vet. Not about that, but I guess while I'm talking to you, I'll tell you why we took him to the vet.
Okay.
In our landscaping, we have the pebble ponds, the rocks, the round ones, anywhere from a quarter size and up. Most of them are larger. And we're constantly trying to keep him out of the rocks. But he always usually brings a rock. He just loves, he's a rock hound. I'm constantly trying to keep rocks away from him. So he brings them to us. So we got to the point where we give him a treat. So he gives it, just brings it right to us, and not messing around. Well, one day we're at work and he puked up 2 rocks. Small rocks, about a quarter size. Well, now we panicked, we freaked out. We talked to the vet to figure out if that was just a once over, if the stomach just rejected it, or if it would stay in the stomach. And they let us know that we should get an X-ray because they have had animals in there that have had rocks in their stomach before. So we set them up all weekend long. We was at an event on Fridays. Monday was the X-ray day. So all weekend long, we're trying to figure out, does he have rocks in his stomach? We're picking them up, shaking them, weighing them. Didn't hear nothing rattling. So Monday we took him in X-rays. He is complete.
He's clean.
He's clean.
Free.
He's rock free. But so now we take extra precautions because we never dreamed that he'd be swallowing rocks. Now he's kind of semi-grown out of the rock a little bit. He still loves rocks, but he's not adamant about our gardening areas. He has other areas and stuff. If he sees a rock any place, he grabs it. Then I get right out of his mouth right away. But that was a little scare we had.
Yeah, that is scary. You're right. We had a couple of other raisers a couple of classes ago talk about how their dogs were very insistent on rocks. And we made a couple suggestions. I can't remember what they were right now.
One was to leash them.
One was to leash them while they're out. Yep. And not let them near it because, yeah.
We're doing right now.
Yeah, so that right now,
Good.
even in our own yard, we leash them. And we're right now having a pool put in. So we have a mountain of dirt in the yard. And he just loves that mountain of dirt.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. He probably could have dug the pool for you and save you some money.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's tried.
Yep. Yeah. And we had some other suggestions too. What were they, Laura? Do you remember?
Spraying them with the nasty stuff that the
Yep.
sour apple stuff.
Yep.
We have some of that. My mother-in-law, she's got thin skin like me. And initially when Rummy first was around, he tries to grab her arms and hands. So we sprayed her hands full of that stuff. He loves it.
Okay, then don't use that.
Okay. Don't use that.
No. But so right now we're leashing him, and we're considering seeing how we would like to continue being puppy raisers. We're going to be rechanging our landscape so they can run freely.
Gotcha. How old is Rummy now?
Going on 7 months.
No, he just turned
Okay.
7.
Oh, he just
18.
turned 7, 18.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So it sounds like you did the right thing. I mean, that it is scary when they eat rocks. It's scary when they eat anything.
The whole
that-
weekend we were like panicking, like, oh my goodness, is he gonna have rocks?
Oh no.
Because we
Yeah.
asked, well, he asked, what do we do? And they said, well, then you have to do surgery.
It's surgery. It's about almost $2,000 surgery. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the reasons, you have to be super careful.
Yeah.
Some dogs never do that and other dogs. Yeah. So if you can get them away from the habit of that,
Yeah.
yeah.
and
Yes.
leashing him sometimes is the way.
Yep.
Trying to think, who was it that had the dog that was eating the rocks?
It was Cheryl with Matterhorn, and
Yep.
there was somebody else though. There was one other person that was doing it too.
The dog was doing it, not the
Dog was
person.
doing it, not the person, right? Correct. Yes. And then Cheryl did use, she did what we had recommended, and that seemed to work. Yeah, because once you stop them from doing something and you do it and you keep them from it for a while, they kind of think they just kind of forget, oh, that was, and they mature. So Rummy is maturing, you know, he's only 7 months old. So he's learning the things that he can't.
Yeah,
can't
and
mess
give
with.
him something else that he can have. If he needs something in his mouth, give him a stick or give him a chew toy or let
Yeah.
him hold the ball.
Yeah.
You would believe all the toys that he has around all of this. He always wants the stuff for free. He always wants the yard stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's how that goes, but that's okay.
It's true.
It's like a kid playing with a cardboard box.
Yes.
Oh, he
yeah,
loves
yeah.
cardboard boxes. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So if you can let him play with that stuff for a few minutes safely, you know, then
Yeah. And we let him rip it up and he makes a mess and I clean it up. He just gets bored and he rips it up and he gets rid of some energy.
yep, that's
In
right.
fact, cardboard will come out.
Yep. Yep. That's funny. Huh. That's a
Well,
good one.
I have a question. This is Margot.
Hi, Margot.
Hey there. I was at an oncology infusion center this morning and I took Nautical with me just for a simple appointment, but it is where a lot of cancer patients get infusions and chemo. And I met with the manager about possibly bringing him by just to say hello to patients while they're sitting there. And of course, a lot of people are medically fragile and their immune system is very low and weak. So she's going to talk to the volunteer coordinator, I believe it is. But has anyone else, is it a bad idea to even ask to go on a cancer ward or a children's cancer hospital? Is it not smart to take a dog because of the potential germs they could be exposing people to? I always thought it was a great experience for especially kids, but I don't want to seem stupid by asking.
My oncologist neighbor asks for New Horizon dogs to come by.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she works at, I think her office is up in Lake Mary.
It's Nemours probably, because I've spoken to them and I think they're open to it. But definitely check because I mean, their whole facility is A, beautiful, and B, everyone there is so kind. So I just, other than Freya, I've never had a dog that I felt is well enough, like well behaved. But yeah, definitely check with them.
Okay. I mean, Nautical is the most phenomenal giver of love. He leans and everybody feels like he's there just for them. And so we could barely get past the nurses today. They flocked him while I was getting my blood drawn. But I thought it would be so awesome to take him to encourage patients, but didn't want to seem silly asking if it was a no-brainer.
I don't think it's silly at all. I know I know up in Atlanta, they have a program where they bring the dogs into the cancer ward for the kids, especially. So I think every hospital is different.
And the
You know?
patients will have varying tolerances for exposures.
Right. Yep.
I know when I was undergoing chemo, I was still teaching school. So I would have been much more concerned about my middle schoolers than I would have the dog. In terms of disease transmission. Middle schoolers much dirtier. But I think that's going to be an individual preference for the patients and, you know, making the dog available. Some people are going to go, oh, please, let him come pet me.
Right.
Let me pet him while I'm sitting here for the hours it takes to get an infusion. So.
Yeah. I mean, manager's suggestion was for me to sit downstairs in the lobby where nobody is, just to greet patients as they come in. But I know the hardest part is sitting in that chair for hours on end. And as I was walking the halls past patients, they were all just, ooh, ah, a puppy. You know, I could tell they wanted to hang out with them. So
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe,
Well,
yeah.
if there's a hospital that will let you do it, absolutely. You know?
All right, I'll keep trying. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask my neighbor and let you know.
Okay. Yeah, when you finally get a dog that can do it, you want to take advantage and share some love.
Right. Yeah. You could call nursing homes as well, Margot, if you have any
Yes.
places near you. I did that with Quinn and Fajita over in Bradenton with a one of the nursing homes that happened to be close to us, and they were so happy.
Yes, I've got 2 lined up, or I've spoken with 2 that are willing to have him, and I might share the dates once I get them to see if anyone else wants to join.
Nice.
Yeah.
Laura says Biggie Smalls was a rock eater too. And in the chat, she said that it was just a constant keeping an eye on him. And if he was in the backyard, they saw him go for one, they pulled him out. I'm hoping, Laura, that eventually he phased out
I
of
know.
that.
I just am asking her.
Oh. And we wait for the answer.
I know, right? Yeah, I think for some dogs, it's just a thing you have to keep on top of. And then maybe once they change, like once they change razors or go into prison or whatever, then that's something that will stop. Oh, he did. He realized we were going to win every time. So yeah, good. She said yes, that the dog realized that that the people were going to win. So that's kind of what you have to do with Rummy, is you have to let him know that he's not going to win. Because the second they start winning, right, Margot? They just think that they can all the time. That's once they counter surf and they win, then they're going to counter surf again until they have to lose a lot before they realize they're not going to win again. Because one win, it's over until you get that point across to them that you're not going to win.
I love the Templeton analogy.
That's what it reminds me of, one of my favorite stories. Anybody else?
Anything for the good of the order?
You sound like a robot.
There's no idea.
No.
It's nice to hear from you, but
Can you type it in the chat?
No, it's fine.
Oh, no, we got you now. You're on.
I know, but I was trying to show you a video. I'll text you a picture. We just picked up the new puppy.
Oh.
What's the new puppy's name?
We went with Bowie.
Oh, cute. So they have 2 New Horizons dogs, but they're getting a family dog of their own.
An English cream.
Yes, thank you. I couldn't brain fade.
It's a golden, but he's
right.
Oh,
Oh boy. Lindbergh and Hagrid are going to have so much fun.
They will. We warned them what was coming, but they don't understand.
Oh. So cute.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations on your new baby. Come on. Come on. No, you're not going to come up? Okay. Want to show everybody your towel? Here, see? I got my towel.
Yep, it's his lovey.
I guess. Yes.
Megan says Scuba has a blankie now. It travels with her up and down the stairs, and she lays with it on the couch at night.
Okay. Well, So the thing is, he'll hold it in his mouth and sometimes he'll act like he's chewing it, but then he's not. So, and he has torn it a little bit, but I don't think he's eating the pieces because I'm finding them on the floor. So, and Quinn does that. Quinn started that after she came back from prison. She will just hold the blanket. It's almost like a pacifier. And she'll do it for a little while when she first goes to bed. And then she gets it out of her mouth. And of course the blanket's all wet, but she doesn't eat it or anything. So I wonder for her if it's like a pacifier, sort of.
Jessica says it's a version of a stress ball.
Yeah, could be. He shouldn't be stressed. He's got the best life ever. He gets to play all the time. Huh? Yes. Why are you stressed? No. Well, the thing is he's a pretty relaxed dog. For the most part, he's pretty chill. But the second, oh, that's so cute. The second that he gets the towel in his mouth, he's like very tense. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll just keep, as long as he's giving it up. Look at those two, just having a romp. Hey, Maria, were you guys able to get together? Was Rummy able to get together with Zazu and have a play date?
No, not yet.
No, we
Not
haven't.
yet.
Oh, okay. Okay. That would probably be really good for the both of them.
What was the guy's name?
Steve.
Steve, yeah.
Yeah.
Steve. Yes. Yep.
You still have his contact
No, you
information?
got his phone number.
Can you send us his contact information again?
Yes. Yep. I'll find it. Yep. I'll send it. Yes.
Because we actually took some pictures at the last training. We were supposed to send them to him. And we can't find his contact info.
Gotcha.
And only reason is because Dale got it.
About phone numbers.
Yeah, Dale took the number. If my wife would have taken it, would have still had it.
I hear that. I understand. Okay. Okay, any other questions, comments?
All these dogs doing Clash of the Titans. My two are sacked out. I was gonna, let me show you. No, they're
Out, huh?
Bissell's laying in the box, the crate, the door's open. Nebula's laying here on the floor, all stretched out, tongue stuck out.
That's funny.
Filthy. Apparently they must have had a really good romp right before they came in.
Okay, Maria, I sent it to you via Facebook Messenger.
Thank you.
Yeah, she got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, it'd be good for those two just to play. And is there anybody who has not received a health record from New Horizons for their dog? Anybody who has not received one? The health record that has your dog's name, it has their birth date, their parents, what shots are due, that kind of thing. Everybody, we want to start asking and making sure everybody is getting those. So that, because that information is helpful.
Jessica does not have one for Zamboni.
Jessica does not have one for Zamboni.
No.
Okay.
Margot doesn't for Nautical. Melina doesn't for Basil or Sage.
Oh my. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Zamboni, Nautical, Basil or Sage. Right? Those are the four?
That's the ones that, yep.
Okay. All right. Okay, anything else?
Does any puppy raiser have preferences to males or females? My wife is wondering what the difference between the female would be as opposed to the male.
I do.
Okay.
I'm just speaking for myself. I've raised lots of males and I've raised a few females. I love them both, but I find the females to just have a little bit more attitude than the males. I've raised a female from a puppy, and I've also done prison dogs. They're very sweet, but I feel like I just feel like sometimes the males are just a little bit easier. They're a little bit more easygoing, but somebody else might feel completely different. That's kind of what I found.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to pipe in?
Oh, they are on the chat. Oh, believe
Oh.
me. I do. I love those sassy females that's in there. That's Jessica. And Melina says females do have attitudes.
Okay.
It's not far from wrong. I will say that when I go up and there's puppies out in the play yard, the puppies that are the ones going, oh, pick me, blah, 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 are the ones I reach over and get the one sitting in the back going, hey.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm chilling back here.
Yeah.
And very often those that are chilling in the back are the males.
Yep.
And I think part of that, oh, look, pick me, jump up thing, we've reinforced by which puppies do you pat when you go up to the fence? You pat the ones that are on the fence. If we would step away and let them sit and settle, and we would not reinforce that, we might have a little less jumping when we bring our puppies home.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've noticed you go out and watch the puppies, and I'll pick one that's either hiding under the swing, sitting in the back, just kind of watching what you're doing.
Yeah. Or I'll go sit in with the puppies, and the puppy that crawls into my lap very quietly and just lays down, that's the puppy. The other ones who are climbing all over me, and it's the one that just crawls in my lap or lays next to me, lays next to my leg or under my leg, just one that isn't vying for attention. Those are the ones that I usually go, okay, you're next. So, I mean, I've had females. I have Quinn. I adore her. And I have to say, as a puppy, she was a wonderful puppy, and she's a wonderful adult dog. But I do know, but she has an attitude. She just,
she's a diva.
Yes, she is very much a diva. So, yeah, where I don't find the boys to be like that. So, I don't know. And it could be, I don't know, in the raising. I don't know. So
I've always been team boy, but I really am falling in love with Dior. She's a good girl.
Yeah. 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 And my daughter has a dog that she bought from New Horizons. That's a girl, and I adore her. She is a great dog, but she also is a diva. She is, yeah. So, it's, and I've had enough girls, I've raised enough girls or had experience with enough of the girls from New Horizons they're great dogs. They're great dogs. You just have to be ready for an attitude, which I know sounds kind of strange when you're talking about a dog, but they do. Just, that's how it is. And I'm looking to see, I know Chuck was on here. He left though, but he has one of the breeders. So I was curious. Everybody else on here though, I think has boys. Yeah, everybody else has boys. So, yeah.
Nebula's a girl.
Oh, Nebula's a girl, right? So, what are you finding with her?
She's a girl. She's tiny, which is really weird because she's only 61 pounds, and she'll be 2 in May. So she's just going to be a little bitty thing, but she's her own girl.
Yep. Yep. Well, and we raised Fajita and Skittles. They were both females. They were prison dogs, and Lucy, and they were phenomenal dogs. but we got them out of
Yep.
prison. They're phenomenal. So they make wonderfully smart service dogs. They really do. I think it's when they're younger and you just can get them through that attitude period, but they're great. They're great dogs.
Yeah, because Easton was a good girl too.
So now that you've raised a male, now you could try a female and then you'll know which did I enjoy more,
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good.
because they're both great. Definitely.
Well, and if you've done puppies, it's a whole nother, prison pups are a whole nother experience.
Yep.
Wendy did puppies for 10 years.
Yeah, it was a long time.
8 years, I guess.
8 years. Yep.
And then the last 5, almost 6, you've been doing prison pups too. And
Yep. And they're awesome too. I love puppies. I love raising puppies, but the prison dogs are just they're just different.
Yep. Different level of satisfaction.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
Well, we don't
Marg-
have very inquiring minds tonight.
Oh, Margot says a team boy.
Yeah.
So Etta says she finds the males are more rambunctious and more easily distracted. Ebony is laid back and loves to work. So and Ebony is an older female, but so it's all in where I do find the males to be rambunctious, but I also find them to be focused, and it just depends. So yeah,
Well,
that's
and
interesting.
you
Thank
gotta
you,
remember
Etta.
too, Etta may be thinking labs.
Yeah, that's true, because I would definitely say that labs are more rambunctious and easily distracted. Yep. Margot wanted to know if there's another play date coming up.
We had one while I was gone, so it won't be this Sunday, but it will be the next one. 12 was that one. I was out of town. 19, so it'll be the 20, whatever the
Right.
Yeah, the 26th is this Sunday.
right. That's the one then. You gotta excuse me. I've been driving a truck for 3 days. My brain is just kind of
Fun.
so yes, on the 26th at Lakeside. We're gonna probably do 5 to 6, just because it's getting warmer and we get more shade on the space. Instead of going 4 to 5, we're gonna go 5 to 6.
Okay.
We'll be there.
Cool.
Nice. That'll be great for Rummy. Give him confidence playing with those big dogs.
Well, I have been taking him to there's a dog park in Orange City, probably about 3 or 4 blocks from where we work at. So I have taken him up there a couple times. Once we get past the dogs that want to get a piece of the puppy, there's some dogs have attitude and stuff. Generally, for the most part, he's still pretty timid, even for the smaller dogs, and he's still scared. And most of them back off and they don't know. But then he's found a couple he runs with and plays with and stuff. And man, once he gets running, he gets running.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that's why it'd be good for him to come play with the Goldens. It builds their confidence.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's for sure. Yeah, just be careful of those dog parks. Just be, I was at one the other day. We played on the outside because they had lots of extra space. So we played at the outside, and then I had Micah go over to the fence and just let him smell the puppies, the dogs that were in there, because there was probably 15 or 20 dogs. And I was not going to that was too many for me to let him into play. So, and at one point, sure enough, some doodle poodle dog and another dog got into it. And some people on the outside were saying, why aren't you letting your dog in? And I said, well, he's a service dog in training. And if he goes in there and somebody comes after him, because he is also, Micah's an unneutered male. And a lot of dogs go after unneutered males. It'll ruin him for service. And he's so close to being done. And they're like, oh, and then sure enough, 2 seconds later, 2 dogs got into a fight. And people are so dumb sometimes at dog parks. So, but it was good for Micah just to see the dogs from outside the fence. He was safe, and the dogs ran up to him and were like, licking they wanted to see him and they were wagging their tails. He was wagging his tail. So it was good for him just to stand outside and observe.
So there you
So,
go. There's not that many dogs there.
Yeah, I'm pretty lucky because this is a pretty small one here. And we got a big dog and a small dog area. So
Good.
at the tops, there's only been about 4 or 5 dogs there. Usually there's
Good.
only a couple there. There's not too many, but there's a lot of wooded areas I can walk him in by myself too. So
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yep. It's always good for them, I feel, to see other dogs. It just is. We just have to be so careful because we know our dog, but we don't know what other dogs are going to do,
exactly.
So
Some dog owners don't pay attention.
no, they do not, unfortunately. So have to be very careful. Yep. Anybody, anything else?
Well, I guess I'm going to say this anyways, because I think we're only about a month and a half or 2 months away from Rummy.
When is Rummy going? Until when we have Rummy? So we can prepare.
Well, I know Caitlin had talked about possibly an April or a May rotation. So she, you may want to call the office. I know she was out sick yesterday. I'm not sure about today, but call the office and just ask her if she knows when. She might be able to tell you an approximate time.
Okay. Yeah, we kind of think about it now.
Yeah, because 8 to 9 months is about when they go into prison.
Yeah. Okay. So he's close.
Yeah, excuse me. He is close. Yep. Is that what you were going to ask us?
Yeah.
Yeah, approximately. We knew we were probably pretty close within a couple months anyway. So
Yep. You're getting close. That's true. So, you kind of want to be thinking about what you want to do next. If you want to continue, we would love to have you continue. And if you do, are you interested in a puppy, or do you think you'd want a prison dog? That's just something Caitlin would need to know when it comes time.
And I think right now we'd like to stay with a puppy because we didn't realize, starting over again, there's a few mistakes we made at the beginning. We didn't know things like that. So we're a little smarter right now, so we'll do better with the second one and stuff. So
Good.
I think we're gonna do another puppy. Yeah.
Okay, and you can be honest. Do you feel like the trainings, the Zoom trainings and the in-person trainings have helped?
Oh yes.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Just listening to you guys. No, we're not talkers, things like that. We do listen and stuff. I like the training sessions to go to with you guys and stuff. It's great. I mean, I like everything about the organization so far.
Good. That's good.
And we learn a lot.
Yeah.
We have learned. Yeah.
And
awesome.
We talked about this before. We wasn't sure if we was going to do this again after Rummy because it's going to be so heartbreaking to let him go.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, after we met a few people that's in the wheelchairs and how much different their lives is, how can we not? How can we not?
Yep. That's pretty much what keeps the rest of us going. It's the why, why we do this. So absolutely. Yep. If you can figure that out and focus on that and not your heartbreak, it's easier to continue.
Well, I had a lab that I spent the last year and a half of his life trying to rehab him with his hips and things like that. And it was very heartbreaking when he went. So that was a closed chapter. This chapter, when it closes, it's not a closed chapter because he moves on to his destiny.
That's right. Yep. Absolutely.
Like sending your kid off to college.
Yeah.
Yeah, some days we'd like to send Rummy to college.
Well, he'll be going soon.
I was kidding.
Okay, if that's it, Anybody else? All right. Thank you guys for joining us. This is recorded, so I will put it wherever it goes. And I will let Jessica know that the 4 of you have not received health records. That's something you should get pretty much as soon as you receive your dog. So we want to make sure, and that does have some good information. Obviously, if you have any health problems, please make sure you call the office and let them know, send them an email. And I think that's it. So have a great night, and we'll see everybody in a few weeks.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Laura.
Hey, Laura. Are you managing to keep your hands off that other dog?
She's not going to answer. Well, she's in Jacksonville and he's in Jupiter. So
okay.
I would think.
I know she was spending some time with him though. So I was wondering how it's going.
Yeah. She's probably at work and just listening in when she can.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Thanos.
Not stopping.
Hi, Thanos. Hi, buddy. Thanos. Hi, big boy.
Thanos, the wonder dog. I wonder what you're up to.
He's like, where are they, Mom?
Thanos.
Keeps walking behind the computer.